The message that I have for this reading is that you couldn't see your own value because they were committed to burying it. They didn't just ignore your light. They dimmed it on purpose because your growth made them uncomfortable. Your voice made them nervous. So you manifested a reality where your light was dimmed. Your voice was censored. Your truth tucked behind fear because that's the version of you they could tolerate. You were never meant to shrink into a role written by somebody else. But you weren't invisible. You were just out of alignment. But now you're back. You're back in your truth. Back in your knowing. And that fake world you were surviving in is falling apart. And with it, their entire reality is beginning to crumble. What do we have at the foundation of the reading? Wheel of Fortune, Sag energy at the foundation of the reading. Right now, I feel that a lot of you are experiencing what can only be described as a complete shift in your reality, your perception of how you see life and the world around you. And this all has to do with the fact that there's a sense of empowerment that I feel you're stepping into. It's as if you are becoming this greater version of yourself. And like we mentioned in the opening message, when you do this, the world around you begins to crumble. Now, what does this mean? Well, it's not so much literal. It's more metaphorical. It more has to do with the way you integrate into your existence based on a certain knowing that you have of yourself. So let's say you show up in the world as a less empowered version of yourself than the version you are preparing to step into. You manifest your entire reality from that space, maybe without even knowing it. Typically, people who are not living out of their highest potential don't realize that they have the power to actually manifest their reality. So they do this unknowingly. And with it, all of the people in that particular reality, the alternate reality, let's say, are perfectly okay with you doing this. In fact, they like you in that space because in that space, they're able to control all of your moves. Now, why would they want to do that? Well, I feel that a lot of you have a chosen path. You were birthed into particular dynamics, circles, communities, family structures to actually trigger awakening, to expose the darkness that lives inside of these people that needs to be addressed. There's a lot of unhealed people inside many of your lives. I would go as far as saying all of your lives. But these aren't just your average, everyday people that need to do some work on themselves. No, I'm picking up on something far sinister here. It's as if you were chosen for these circles because you have something coded into you that is able to break some sort of outdated structure, or rather belief systems that must be transmuted for the greater good of the collective and evolution as a whole. This Wheel of Fortune from this deck is showing us that you're on approach. You're not quite there yet. But as you are starting to approach, let's say, this new timeline, this portal, your destiny, you're starting to see things from a different perspective. It's almost as if you've gained a certain, well, you have a new vantage point, let's say, and you're starting to see all these different energies and what they stand for in and around your reality. But this was only made possible by this new empowered sense of self that you are beginning to discover. See, your life is wired to your thoughts. So change the current of your thoughts, right? Change the course. See, I feel that a lot of you are starting to realize that your reality is not something you react to. It's something you actually generate. Now, until you've stepped into this energy and started to see the universe respond to you and this newfound sense of self, it's hard to even compartmentalize what this means. It sounds far-fetched. It sounds like woohoo, but it is absolutely not. Have a think about where you may be at in your life. Think about your thought process in that moment. And I would bet that regardless of whether your circumstances are good or bad in this moment, you can put down your entire surroundings to how you're thinking. But of course, you have to be honest with yourself as well. Sometimes that's the hardest part about all of this. Just realizing that we need to own our thoughts and be honest with ourselves about the fact that we are actually manifesting those thoughts into our material environment. See, a lot of us have been conditioned to wait until life gets better, but that's simply not how it works. Manifestation 101 tells us that we must command our life to get better. See, we tell the universe how we want our life to look, and then we act accordingly within that framework. So we say, universe, this is how I want my life to look. The universe says, hey, great, let's do it. Show us what you got. So you get working inside of that space, and then the universe begins to respond. It begins to reflect back to you exactly what is going on in your mind, exactly what is going on in your actions back into your life. It amplifies more of it. It just takes a little bit of time for it to come around. Now, this sounds very simple, and it really is. But because we live in this third density where we're bombarded with so many distractions, there's so many things around us that are working overtime to lower our vibration, which is just really another way of saying to lower our self-worth, our self-confidence. So it makes it more difficult to manifest. Well, with all of this working against us, it can make all of this a bit difficult. However, once you really start to program your mind that this is truly how we manifest the life of our dreams, and you get working in that space, it becomes easier and easier. Life isn't happening to you, it's responding to you. What do we have? The sacral, please? Judgment. Pluto, Scorpio energy at the sacral. This truly follows what I just said perfectly, because this is you awakening to this kind of truth. There is a point in this journey when you actually feel the presence of spirit around you working in your life. It becomes undeniable, because paths that you may have gone down in the past that didn't result in what you wanted it to result in seems to now come with a whole lot of ease. And why is that? See, it all has to do with the structure of your own mind, how you perceive yourself, how you perceive the world around you, and being consciously aware that there are energies at all times that show up in our friends, our family, maybe without them even really knowing it, that are working to keep you away from said destiny. You just need to believe, is really what it comes down to. You need to have faith that things can truly become better for you. No matter how dark your life may look in any given moment, no matter how low you may feel, you always have the choice to remove yourself from that space. But a lot of the times, it just takes stepping back, removing yourself from your current set of circumstances, getting away from all the noise and distraction, and trying to meditate over your life like you are looking at it through the eyes of the universe. And of course, you need to be very honest with yourself about what you're seeing. Now, ask yourself, okay, if I was having to sit down with the universe or even God right now, and I asked them what I should do regarding the situation that is seemingly in my way, what would God say to me? Now, again, you got to be brutally honest with yourself, but I guarantee you that if you can do this, if you can remove yourself from your own conscious awareness of who you are in this very moment and all of the constructs of your mind and your reality and everything that's seemingly holding you back, you will result with a very clear answer. And then if you apply what you have uncovered, what you have discovered rather, you will see movement. It may take a little bit of time, but movement will begin to unfold in your life. Judgment at the sacral. The only thing that stands in your way, in anyone's way, is going to fall under the umbrella of fear. They want you to feel that you're too fragmented, that you're too faded, that you don't matter. You were taught to play small. You were taught to feel unremarkable. It's as if they wanted to edit the version of you that was sent here because that version of you, again, was deemed a threat. But the more you return to yourself, the less that illusion can actually hold. You begin to realize that a lot of the constructs of your mind that you have built around who you are is a lie. Once you start to peel back all of those layers, what you find at the core is the real you, who you really are. All of these restrictions that have been placed upon you don't even belong to you. You were just told that you needed to carry them without even having a say-so in the matter, probably well before you were even aware that they were placed upon you. The real you has always been waiting beneath the version that they could control. Through the lies they wrapped around how you showed up in your own reality. The judgment is also one of the cards that represents your purpose. It's an energy of rebirth. This is you following that inner calling, finally. And this is what it's all about. This is their worst fear. Their worst fear was that this day would come when you remembered, maybe not exactly who you were just yet, but you remembered that where you were wasn't actually where you were supposed to stay. It was where you were supposed to visit to trigger awakening, to trigger, I just heard towers. It's what a lot of you hold. You have that tower energy. A lot of you have been placed inside these communities, these family structures, not to bring peace and love, but to bring the destruction of these false realities that results in the peace and love. And that could suggest that there's something sacrificial about your energy. There's parts of your life that you have had to sacrifice for your own purpose. For a lot of you, it's the simple pleasures and happiness that seemingly other people may have. But it's not because those things are being stripped away from you. No, not at all. It's because the reality of what you thought those things were to begin with isn't even real. The true nature of those things will be found on this new path, on this new timeline, the real love, the real communities, the real soul tribes. That's all a part of this new chapter of your life that you are preparing to step into. These things just come without even having to think about it. That's an interesting thing to say, without even having to think about it, right? But it makes perfect sense, because all of us are always thinking about, I just want love to come into my life, or I just wish I had some friends I could trust or family members that understood me and supported me. I wish I could find my soul tribe. But very rarely are any of those people that wish for those things finding those things in the capacity that actually lasts. It's when we stop searching for those things and focusing on our true path, our true north, do those things actually show up to begin with. What do we have at the solar plexus? Literally followed what I just said. 10 of Wands, Sag energy at the solar plexus. So here you are, carrying everybody else's burdens, carrying these ideas of who you think you're supposed to be, carrying all of these things that have been placed and projected on your shoulders, into your reality, into your life. And see how it's right there at the solar plexus. Your solar plexus is all connected to your self-confidence, your own personal power. How can you possibly access your personal power when you're carrying this on your shoulder? You can't even look up to see what's in front of you, which suggests that there's other people navigating your way. Oh, am I going the right way? Oh, yeah, just keep going down there. You're doing great. Oh, okay. I just heard 10 wands, 10 truths. Now, I'm not going to try and dig too much into what that may mean, because I feel that's going to mean something different for all of you. So I'm going to leave that with all of you to decode. But I will say this. It might be in the realms of discovering that there have been 10 obstacles, 10 people, 10 something that have been placed on your path throughout your life. I just heard 10 spirits to keep you from your true north, which could suggest that you're being called to retrace your steps. I feel that there's something that Spirit is wanting you to discover at this time. They're channeling something through to me right now that is a bit complex, but it's like thinking back over your life and your path up until this moment and seeing things you hadn't seen before. Now, this can all just really speak metaphorically about an excessive amount of distractions that were placed in front of you to keep you detouring and rerouting from your true north. I'm also hearing something here about a lot of you are just now getting to the point in your life where you're starting to discover that the people you put your trust into, you had entrusted to help you get to where you're going to. Now, it may not be literal, but it could be in the sense that you just spoke to people about your moves. You discussed things with people like we do, but these people did not have your best interest in mind. It's like you tell somebody what you're trying to manifest, maybe a family member, a friend, an ex-partner for some of you, and behind the scenes, they're throwing evil eye at you or speaking negatively. They're just putting negative energy out into the ethers. And this can have an impact on you manifesting these things into your life, especially when these individuals in and around your life, because they're having a vibrational influence on you, which has consequences. This is why it's very important to take stock of your environment and the people in it. You not being able to manifest things into your life can simply come down to bad influence that you have around you. All too often, we find ourselves saying that, oh, it wouldn't matter, that toxic person, yeah, they're in my life, but they're not affecting my path forward. And I'm sorry to say, yes, they are. Okay? These are all incremental pieces, and it all matters in the grand scheme of things, because you don't know that the divine is saying, well, we can't bring them their manifestation with this person in their life because this person could sabotage them. Something could go down. This person is not to be trusted. So now, more than ever, it's incredibly important that you're being ruthless when it comes to your friendships and the energies you surround yourself with. Don't sacrifice what God has for you just to keep somebody else happy. Somebody who may be projecting all of this negative energy into your life behind your back. When people show you who they are, you gotta believe them, okay? Start trusting your gut. We are in a timeline now where more than ever, we must be listening to our intuition, nurturing that relationship with our intuition. It's interesting that our intuition has never steered us wrong, right? Yet we're more likely to believe people in our life who have certainly steered us wrong over our own intuition. This has got to stop. So I encourage you, start trusting yourself more than the people you trust around you. Because when you do, you will begin to witness your entire reality begin to shift. Build your reality, program your reality rather, on your own dreams, on your own vision that you have for yourself, not that role that has been written by somebody else that tells you who you are and what you should be doing. What do we have at the heart, please? Wow. Oh my God. High Priestess. Your intuition. For those of you that don't know, the High Priestess is the card that represents your intuition, okay? Now, Pisces energy with the High Priestess here at the heart chakra. This is your inner GPS system, and this is confirming to us that you do indeed have everything you need to navigate these situations. It was placed into you before you even came here. This is you, moving between worlds, the material realm, the spiritual realm. This is spirit communicating with you, dropping the downloads and the guidance to you as you need it. And this is exactly why they have placed all of this on your shoulders. See, it's interesting because you're stuck looking down, right? It's like you're not even looking up, which is a way of indicating that they've been trying to make sure that your intuition is not online. You're not trusting it. There is no single human anywhere on this earth that will ever be able to tell you better than your own intuition. Now, this High Priestess is also speaking to us about divine guidance. There's a higher power that is needing you to trust in your intuition, needing you to trust yourself. There's also something going on in the subconscious mind. So this could also speak about the dream state right now. I'm hearing something about dreams coming through in a metaphorical sense to awaken you to something. I feel that a lot of the individuals that are being highlighted in this reading that have caused this might be showing up in your actual dream state. I'm hearing something about dreams where it feels like you're being singled out, dreams that make you feel like there's something wrong with you or that you're being rejected in some sense. This is spirit trying to awaken you to what may be actually taking place in your waking life. Now, I feel that where you have gotten on your path, you have actually gathered a tremendous amount of wisdom. For a lot of you, you may not even be fully aware of this. Sometimes it takes stepping into a new timeline, becoming more empowered to say, you know what? I have a lot of life experience. I've been through quite a lot. Now, this wisdom is the necessary key to be able to unlock this new timeline you're stepping into, because you're not only overcoming these restrictions these individuals have placed on your path and moving forward, but you're taking all that experience, all of that wisdom with you into this new timeline to start manifesting the reality of your dreams and the reality that is in alignment with that inner calling. And the owl is representing that wisdom, saying, hey, You've been through a lot. Look what we can do with all this. We can manifest the reality of your dreams simply by taking all of this experience, all of this struggle, all of this trauma, all of this, and writing a beautiful ending to it all. Something that inspires, something that uplifts, something that you can transmute into light, whatever that looks like for you. You take all of this pain, all of this resentment, all of this unnecessary baggage that has been placed into your life. What do we have at the throat, please? Wow. Again, just follow what I said. Look at this. 10 of Wands, 10 of Pentacles. On either side of the High Priestess. This is how you access your divine inheritance. We always hear about that, right? A lot of people confuse that with all of a sudden $1 million just showing up in your account. But in a lot of cases, this is not what that means. What this is spirit giving you something you can actually work with and build with. It's all about taking this struggle and turning it into this yourself with that wisdom, with that knowledge. Now, this is a different kind of legacy, okay? Because this is one that is constructed on your own spiritual DNA that you have uncovered through this war that you have had to fight to get here. Not only is it obviously well-deserved, but it's something that cannot be taken from you. It's something that is first manifested in spirit. See, a lot of what people build inside this reality is not manifested in the spirit first. It's manifested purely in the material world, so it's easily lost. See, it's not about the material side of things. The structure, the foundation is built in spirit. That way, if it ever crumbles in the material world, it is easily built again. And that's exactly what I'm seeing here for all of you. This is what you want. Because as we know, the world is forever changing. We don't know what's going to come tomorrow. But when you discover what it is that I'm suggesting to all of you here, you have something that puts you in a whole different class, a whole different tier. This is when you truly become untouchable. This is how you build real generational wealth. It's about the ingredients you mix to be able to do it over and over again. What do we have at the third eye, please, Spirit? Wow. Page of Swords. Doing it over and over again is exactly right. And the Page of Swords is all about learning. It's all about new challenges. It's all about new beginnings. See, when you truly understand what I'm saying here, you walk this world like most can't begin to even understand. You just vibe differently. This is the secrets. This is the blueprint. And this is what they never wanted you to discover. And they will never stop trying to take it from you. But the simple act of putting this all into action is what ensures it can never truly be stripped away from you, which causes a lot of frustration for these people. Because just when they think that they have knocked you down, they've taken something from you, you just build it right back up. Sure, maybe they impact your money for a couple of months. Maybe they project some nasty energy into your life that causes you to stub your toe or something. It never has any lasting effects. In fact, it's all of these little frustrations that Spirit helps you to transmute into more. There will never be a time that you deal with these sorts of situations that you don't come out the other side better off for having done so. 100% of the time. And that message is right here on the bottom of the deck. 10 of Swords, there they are. Nothing I ever do ever seems to stop them. They just get up and build again. I just heard ant spirit. Right? It's like it's like ants who have their entire anthill destroyed by a flood or something. It's like by the next day they've built it again, right? And look, Page of Pentacles. Here's the divine coming through. Hey, we got this new pentacle for you, right? this new beginning. This is for all your hard work, for all that irritating energy you had to put up with. And then here they are, right? 5 of Cups, oh, please help me, I'm drowning, right? It's like now they want you to help them, right? And it's so interesting. 5 of Swords, 8 of Swords. Yeah, I just heard, this is a what goes around comes around energy right here. But it's so interesting because they always show their hand, right? When they see that things aren't working, they want to get as close as possible to you, right? This is when they get sloppy. Well, did it work? Is it working? All right, maybe I should, contact them directly, even though I haven't spoken to them in years, and say, hey, thinking about you, how's everything going? Everything okay? They just have a way of exposing themselves without even realizing they're doing so. That in and of itself is a message. So pay attention to the people that I feel are just popping up right now, right? Here you are with the knowledge, right? You're like, oh, I get it now. And these people are like, oh, hey, heard so-and-so and such, just thought we'd see how you're doing. What do we have of the Crown, please? Too many cards. What do we have of the Crown? Too many cards. What do we have of the Crown? The Star, Aquarius energy at the Crown. Okay, so there's that hope, all right? And I just heard you're not looking for a miracle. You're looking for permission. So give it to yourself. Give yourself permission, right? Stop seeking permission from these individuals that are so hard-pressed that you're no longer in this energy. Well, wait, what happened to those wands? Where did these pentacles come from? That's not how this is supposed to go down. And now this, oh, wait. You've gone a little bit too far. The Star card is you arriving, okay? This is you in the spotlight of your life. So we've been talking about the inner calling, right? That's this. See, this is often deemed a miracle because it feels so impossible to get to. That's what it feels like when you arrive there. You're like, oh my God, this is a miracle. But the divine is saying, hey, it's really not, okay? This is just where you were always supposed to be. If you want to call it a miracle, great, that's fine. You can call it a miracle. But the true miracle is that you were able to overcome this. Because this is the only thing that's in your way of this. See, it's not that you're not ready. It's that you think you have to wait for something. You need to be done with the waiting. You can either stay in the pattern or you can step into the proof. The choice is yours. And I'm hearing something about Spirit giving you a thread right now, right? Now, this could just speak metaphorically about a way out of whatever maybe you're dealing with. I often refer to this as the secret passage doorway. It's like an idea, something that presents itself to you that you find from within. It's that thing that all of a sudden sparks an idea to help remove you from whatever set of circumstances you may be dealing with in the present moment. But you need to give yourself the space and the capacity to be able to access that space to begin with. Now, this could just really speak about the need to change up your environment to do so, right? Some of you out there in the collective are in these really chaotic environments that don't allow you to catch your breath, let alone hear your own thoughts, and take some time out to meditate, right? See, that place of meditation, that is just your sit down. That's your meeting space between you and Spirit. That meditation allows you to clear out the noise, the traffic, the mind garbage that you accumulate in your everyday waking life to allow room for Spirit to come through and deliver, or rather drop the downloads to you. How can you receive downloads when you're carrying this? What do we have at the foundation, please, Spirit? Perfect. Two of Pentacles. And that card came out more in reverse, but I automatically read these cards in the negative polarity anyway. But Two of Pentacles, red in its shadow and its negative polarity, is telling me, is confirming to me, rather, that there is something that is working overtime to create disorder in your life as a means to scatter your energy so you're not able to have that moment to yourself. Several years ago, when I was really going through a big transformation in my life, I was in this environment that was really chaotic. I could barely get any sleep. I could barely hear myself think. And I knew that I had to remove myself as soon as possible. But I needed some guidance on how I was going to make it happen. So against all odds, I would do these marathon meditation sessions while there was all of this chaos just erupting all around my environment. There I was, just sitting in my room, meditating for hours with earbuds in, listening to binaural beats, trying to shut it all out. And I did this several times a day, day in and day out. And I started to get flooded with messages that never would have reached me had I not have done this. Going around in my waking world, I had no idea how I was going to make it happen. But I found that secret passage doorway. I found those messages when I did this. So I encourage all of you who may be going through the same to give it a try. You'll be surprised at what ideas just all of a sudden come to you. They're the kinds of ideas that you get when you feel like you've exhausted every possibility. All of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, I could do that. I never even thought about that. That's what I mean by a secret passage doorway. And I'll tell you what, that chaos, it increases when you are on approach to this, right? That new timeline. It's like the full force of hell will begin to erupt all around you. And that right there, that's your cue. That doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. That means you're doing something right. What do we have at the sacral, please? Page of Pentacles, red in its shadow at the sacral. Now, this Page of Pentacles from this deck is speaking about something that is trying to make sure that you don't progress forward, something that wants to influence your plans, cause you to miss out on an opportunity. It's an energy that I feel is further adding to what we just channeled through, that basically wants to say to you that there's no way out. This is just the hand you've been dealt. I promise you it's not. You just, again, need to give yourself the space to realize you have more opportunities than you were aware of. It's interesting because you are literally on the precipice, right? This right here is you standing practically on the threshold of this change. And then you have these energies just nipping at your ankles, right? Just trying to pull you back into the chaos. And whenever I get this card doesn't come out a whole lot, but it's like a big wildebeest to me. It's like something that just appears on your path. Now, it speaks metaphorically, right? Circumstances, situations, whatever it may be. But it wants to make you feel like there's just no way around it. And remember how I said that once you start to understand this, and you shift your vantage point or gain a wider perspective, you start to see all the distraction that's actually around you. You're like, wow, I never saw it like that before. It's like your environment is conspiring to hold you back from this, from discovering that knowledge to build this. I just heard uncovering the hidden knowledge, right? We all have access to this. We all have this custom-made plan for each one of us, which requires us uncovering hidden knowledge in our own reality. It's going to look different for everybody. You overcoming this energy is what cuts the key to you being able to unlock the door to all of this. What do we have? The solar plexus, please, Spirit? Too many cards. What do we have? The solar plexus? Too many cards. What do we have? The solar plexus? Whew. Wow. The Fool. red in its shadow at the solar plexus, right underneath that 10 of wands. It's like, look at them. Look at their face, right? And the way they're walking, they're kind of tiptoeing around like, yep, just keep going that way. Just keep your head down. No need to look up. Look how sneaky this energy is here. This energy wants you to be absent to your own destiny. This energy thinks you're naive, because maybe you have been without even really knowing it, right? Because you've put your trust in people you couldn't trust to begin with. This is an energy that is going to tell you that it's got your back, that this is the way you're supposed to be going. This is the way forward. And this energy is in direct opposition with this new beginning. Person, people, place, thing, mindset. See, it's not always just people. A lot of the times it's mindsets that have been programmed into us that are allowing us to stay in these dynamics with these people and be subjected to this to begin with. There's many things going on here all at once. There's layers to it. But typically, when you pull that piece of thread that spirit is presenting to you, everything begins to unravel. You begin to see the connection between all of it. Right as I said that, I got a dull ringing in my left ear. It was definitely something on the lower side of the vibrational scale, let's just say that. And immediately afterwards, I thought, no, it's like an energy that is angered by some of you receiving that message, because it could be that message and that message alone that triggers something inside of you. A lot of the times what I channel through in these readings isn't literal. It's things that you take with you, you think about after the reading that cause those light bulb moments, those moments of realization, just switches on something and you go, oh my God, oh, well, I never thought about it like that. You know, that's really the main reason why I space out my readings the way I do, is because it's not always about the readings and what comes through per se. It's about the takeaway and the space in between the readings when the real growth begins to happen. These readings here are meant to stay with you and truly help you on your path, that you have everything inside of you to make it happen on your own. What do we have at the heart, please? 8 of Pentacles, Virgo energy at the heart underneath that High Priestess. Wow. Again, just followed what I said. This 8 of Pentacles here is an energy that wants you to think that you don't have what it takes to get the job done, that you're unskilled. It's an energy that wants you to lack ambition and focus. It's an energy that, by any means necessary, wants to convince you, wants to program into you that you don't matter. I just heard minimization, psychological shrinking, and the slow realization that your presence matters deeply. See, a lot of you are at this point of realizing your own worth after being minimized and made to feel invisible. It's like you didn't know how important you were until you got away from all of those who tried to minimize everything you did. It's like you never even realized how much the world needed this self-empowered version of you. Because like we said at the beginning of the reading about manifesting your reality from that specific place of how you engage with your reality. So it's like you're setting the tone for rediscovering your own worth. And in doing so, your reality shifts and the world around you, your influence shows up and it makes a difference. Oh, it makes a big difference. And this isn't about saving the world. This is about allowing the reality where the self-empowered version of you exists to become a thing, to become your reality. When you truly begin to grasp what it is I'm trying to convey to all of you, which is poorly described in words, it's just a feeling, it's a knowing, you'll have that aha moment, which leads us perfectly into the Ace of Swords. Yamabel, affinity and friendship. Now again, this Ace of Swords is bridging us out of this 8 of Pentacles because this is you realizing on some level what it is we're trying to convey here. All of this comes down to mental strength, to mental clarity, to you being able to think clearly enough to get the ball rolling and remove yourself from these energies. See, the way they're able to keep you in these cycles to begin with is by bombarding you with all of this stress, the chaos, the confusion, which leads to you having these mental blocks, which is all a result of you not being able to access your intuition because of all of this. So it's like this cyclical cycle. See how you clear your mind, right? Ace of Swords, which allows your intuition to open up, which allows you to gain perspective over this energy here, see these devilish energies, right, that are sort of hanging around that you didn't see before, to then realize that this is on the other side of it all. What do we have at the throat, please, Spirit? Justice. Libra energy at the throat. Perfect. Now, this is telling us, right, that justice is blind, okay? Which can really speak about who these people may be to you, which makes all of this that much harder. If it's family members, if it's people that have been really close to you, this is justice saying, hey, look, we get it, but if you really want this, you're going to have to disassociate yourself from who these people are in your life. For example, say you have a really toxic sibling that's been causing all of these issues and holding you back, crabs in a barrel mentality your entire life, but they're your sibling, so you give them a pass, not really looking at things from this higher vantage point and realizing that it's literally between this and them. The scales, right? Are you just going to put up with this and sacrifice this because they're your blood? Because they're your sibling, your family member, your mother, your father, your best friend? See, so many of us have been conditioned to just put up with it. That's just life. But this is not true at all. That is a part of what they have wired into us. It's called the stand down tactic. They want you to be passive and just put up with it. They don't want you to put your foot down and say, I'm not doing this. And what's interesting is people who become passive like this, and we've all been there, also are praying for change, which is in direct opposition with you being passive. What do we have at the third eye, please, Spirit? Perfect. Look at that. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 decks on the table, and we get the Page of Swords stacked with the Page of Swords, okay? And what's interesting here, on this Page of Swords, it's like here they are. Their words don't affect you anymore. See how there's that thing tied around their mouth, right? And it's like that's you on the cover of a poster. Now, this is just speaking metaphorically about you being in the spotlight of your life. It all connects. It's like you discovered the key. Right? And here they come, oh, hey. And now you're on this new timeline. They cannot access you anymore. And I just heard something about people trying to retrace your steps, trying to figure out how you did something. Yeah, there's someone, I feel like it's a sibling, who may be shocked by your glow up, by your transformation. It doesn't have to be just a sibling. It can be anyone, really, but that's probably going to be for the majority of you, if that's what I'm hearing. I also feel that whoever this is, or maybe it's more than one people, is trying to create a narrative around what's going on in your life right now, which can really speak about the disconnect that's going on. It's like an energy of you not being around to be able to defend yourself, but you get to the point where you simply don't care, right? Oh, well, A lie can travel around the world and back again while the truth is lacing up its boots, right? Mark Twain. That's what I'm getting here. All right, Spirit, let's close this out. What do we have at the crown, please? Page of Cups. Perfect. All these new beginnings, okay? The pages are what represent the new beginnings. And whenever I get this Page of Cups, it gives glow up energy, right? Now, this Page of Cups is confirming to us that you're beginning this new journey synchronized, in tune with your intuition. The Page of Cups is a very intuitive energy, but it's also an energy that can suggest that it's newly discovered. You never knew how powerful your intuition was. You never knew that you could access this sort of hidden power, which is what is uncovering this vast array of new possibilities that you didn't even know were there, right? Hidden inside that secret passage doorway. When your environment, when your surroundings have seemingly boxed you into a corner, this does not mean that all hope has been lost. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It means that spirit, by way of circumstance, and that tower energy that you hold, is pushing you to go inward, to discover what you never knew was there. It's like your trap door, and it can be found inside your own mind, discovered through that intuitive highway that each and every one of you has access to. So again, pay attention to those distractions and how much they increase the closer you seem to get. Because when you discover what I'm suggesting to all of you, all of this begins to make perfect sense. So in closing, your mind is the architect, and right now it's building your limits or your liberation. All right, this is what I have for all of you. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. If you would like to support my channel, there are a few ways you can go about doing this. Of course, donations are always greatly appreciated, and I'm grateful for all of you who continue to donate to my channel. If you would like to join the membership side of my channel where I upload bonus readings, you can hit the join button above my profile, and it's only $2.99 a month. Those readings are quite potent because I'm reading for a smaller collective of people. I would also encourage you to check out my online store. I have numerous items that I have been adding to it that I'm really proud of, that I feel a lot of you would really enjoy. And all the things I create there are influenced by these readings. If you just go and take a browse, it will make more sense to you when you see it all. But lastly, I would like to know if this reading resonated with you, so drop a heart and/or comment in the comment section down below, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Take care.